Hello, I'm Jason and I'm a ninja warrior. Along beside me is Marky. Alright, Frankie's not with you right this moment. Ain't that bitch?
He's behind you.
Okay, folks, this is the time we've waited for. We've gone four episodes prior saying our top five picks. Tonight is our number one pick.
Nobody's been waiting
Number
for this.
one. And if Marky turns around, I can flip up my comic book and show you my number one pick.
Oh, I'm supposed to flip.
Yeah, you're supposed to flip.
Spoiler alert! Video contains our number one pick.
Number one. Folks, here is my personal favorite comic book right now. It might change a couple years from now, but for right now, this is my number one
It'll
comic book.
change tomorrow.
No, it's been my number one for about,
A week?
what, 6 months or so?
Yes, sir.
Here it is, folks. Drum roll, please.
Wait.
Oh, okay, here we go with the drum roll. The Boys
Shocker.
from Dynamite. This is such an awesome fucking comic book.
I'm feeling a Thanos imperative because you've already reviewed this, huh?
No, that is my. Nope.
Oh,
This
cool.
has been like basically the story of The Boys is who watches the superheroes? Like who watches the Justice League?
Who watches the Watchmen?
Oh yeah, who polices the
Who plays it?
like I guess in DC would be Amanda Waller, yeah. So The Boys is rude, is crude. The guy that did Preacher does the wall now. Sadly, he says it's only going to go up to 75 issues. Right now,
Only?
yeah. And then there's going to be 3 miniseries that are
There's
4
a
issues
spin-off
long.
too, right?
Yeah,
it,
isn't that
there's
like Laddie Boy?
That's going to be coming out in this month, I think. And it's going to be like a 6-parter. And before that was Orgasmo. And then the next one's going to be about
yeah,
their
you're a man.
Man.
Like he seems
Now-
for that Laddie Boy.
Here's The Boys. Like right here is like Stan Lee. Like he has homage to Stan Lee. He's the creator, and like he does his own comic book. Butcher is so awesome. Like there's so many awesome things about it. There's nudity, there's language, there's blood, there's guts, and I kind of like how he portrays the bad guys, like how they would actually be. Like they're horn dogs. Like they had like this one girl who wanted to be part of like basically like the Justice League. There was this something Sevens.
The Seven?
Yeah, the Seven. And like for her to become part of the crew, she had to give them all blowjobs. It's like how superheroes would actually act in Orgasmo or Herogasm. Like when they all get away, like for a break, all the superheroes and all the like sex and all the like the greatest comic. And the girl, she kicks ass. She is a badass. She's like an assassin that used to work for the mob, and now she's part of The Boys. There's
What-
Frenchie.
What issue is this one that you're showing?
This is
everybody?
47. It's the newest one. Mother Milk is awesome. He has to drink his mother's milk, like to stay alive and stuff like that. Like, yeah.
Is he lactating still? Like,
Yeah.
how old is he?
He's probably like in his 40s or so, but yes, he still has to like every time he goes to the mother's
What
house,
happens when she dies?
then he might be fucked. Oh, and there's this Russian guy like with his balls hanging in his like superhero outfit, and like he's not part of The Boys, but he's friends with the Butcher. And Huey, if you guys liked Shaun of the Dead,
Yeah.
Huey is Shaun. Like the guy's he's new to this world. His girlfriend like got killed by a superhero, like ran into her and tore her arms off and flattened her against the wall. It was like first issue, and you read that and you're like, holy fuck, this is awesome.
Not even a spoiler alert. Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! And Frenchie, like we all know French people suck. Sorry, you French people, you guys.
I'm part French.
Like I'm
Come
surprised
on.
they're not surrendering right now to this video because they're French. But there's this guy named Frenchie, and like he kicks ass. Like he's a badass French guy.
Badass.
Yeah, like
There's your genre now.
oh yeah, Ultimate Fighter guy.
No,
UFC?
no.
No.
Jean Reno, you know,
Movie star.
Wasabi,
Ronan.
Godzilla, the American one, the
Oh,
French guy that
the-
kicked
the-
everybody's ass.
Okay, yeah, sure.
He's
Yeah.
an action star. He's
French
like,
don't surrender.
Yeah, like Frenchie's a badass.
they lose 100-year-long wars.
Butcher, I can't wait till his mini comes out next year towards the end of The Boys, which you learn more about him.
Is every character getting a mini, or just certain ones?
Huey's getting one in Butcher, and then that's it, and then up
That
to
laddie thing.
75, and it's done. The hamster, Herbie. Like,
Poor Herbie.
if I ever could shove a hamster up my ass, it would be Herbie. Because he came out of a superhero's
yeah,
ass.
he came out of a superhero's ass.
Yeah, and like, I love Herbie.
Wait, so like a superhero is standing with a hand?
No, he got killed and Herbie crawled out of his ass.
Did he eat the hamster?
No. Huey.
You know, like
Hugh Grant, or no, Richard Gere. Yeah. So
Richard
now,
Gere had a fascination with putting gerbils in his butt.
yeah. So the superhero had a hamster up his ass, and he gets killed by Huey, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was first victim or first.
So
Whatever.
Huey kept him as Herbie. That's why he changed his name to this Herbie. Well, yeah, no, Jamie, right? And then the superhero came back to life to get Herbie back, and like it's an
he
epic
came back from the dead for his hamster.
Yeah, and
Why he came back from the dead.
he had his pants down and all ready for it to go back home. It was kind of cute.
Wow.
Yeah.
The hamster was happy to see him.
Yeah.
He was like, oh.
Yeah, it's a twisted comic. Like every issue I've laughed at, but there's also sad parts to it too. But I've done almost my 7.5 minutes worth. So all I gotta say is, The Boys, greatest comic there
So
is.
then we can go for 15 minutes
It's
now.
my number one. Get it if you never got it.
That made me want to read it.
Yeah, you can get trade paperbacks are available.
Okay, stop talking. Let Mark talk now.
You gotta get Marky. What is your number one?
Thanos!
No Thanos.
Thanos!
All right, my number one, which I'm actually going to
Sorry,
show the
Ricky.
first issue of the current running
Ooh,
series.
You got the good one.
Jonah Hex. This is the current issue that we're at, which is 58. Jonah Hex. Jimmy, Paul, and Tui. I can't say your name.
He's just Jimmy.
You're just Jimmy now. You're awesome, by the way.
We met him
When I talked to you, you were like the nicest guy. That was really cool. All right. To the story of Jonah Hex. All right. Everybody knows he's a cowboy. I mean, you can tell by the get up, the 6-shooter.
What is it?
It's a spoiler alert, I guess. I mean, he's wearing a cowboy hat. He's got a 6-shooter. He looks rough and tough. He's got the gun belt. I'm gonna assume he's a cowboy. Spoiler alert: Jonah Hex is a cowboy.
Gay or non-gay?
Not the gay variety, the real variety. Because gay cowboys, I'm assuming that's the thing with like the fascination with they like the tough guys. Kind of
It's okay.
like straight guys, like
I'm talking about
girly
Rawhide
girls.
Kid.
Rawhide Kid. Oh yeah, that's another good book. But number one pick is Jonah Hex. All right. I read a lot of Jonah Hex books and a lot of the miniseries too. One of my favorite was Hex, which was a future book. He got sucked into the future. That was an interesting saga. Anybody that likes Jonah Hex should read that. Pick it up. I don't think it's available as a graphic novel, but you can usually find it in the comic books. You can get it online also.
Yeah, eBay.
Yeah. The Vertigo books were all real good. They're kind of more graphic and hard, a little bit harder in the violence and more sexual. Some of their stories are Jonah Hex and the Riders of the Worm and such, things like that. That was actually the name of the book. That wasn't me sounding like an idiot. It's actually called Jonah Hex, the Riders of the Worm and such.
You sound like an idiot anyway.
So Jonah Hex, he was in the Civil War, and he was for the South.
Confederate?
Yes, Confederate.
Army.
But he was for the South. He kind of changed his mind though. He decided that their ways weren't right, and he was branded a traitor. So he kind of, as the war left, his general ended up being the story's main bad guy, which was played by John Malkovich. The bad guy was actually killed about 5 to 10 issues back. Yeah, that's a big spoiler alert on that one. He's been the bad guy, the main bad guy. Even though they were all kind of one shots, they do have a sort of continuous story. Certain characters reappear and reappear. Like Tallulah Black, and certain characters are just in it from time to time. And
What's not
so he was killed, and ever since then, the book has just for me really taken off, and I'm actually surprised it's still being printed under the DC title instead of being moved over to Vertigo.
Now, are you afraid they're going to cancel it because of the movie like not doing good and the sales actually not doing that well? Jonah Hex.
I don't think it's gonna get canceled. This is a book that has been canceled and brought back multiple times, and every time it's been canceled, Vertigo carries it.
Oh.
And then DC goes, "Oh, it's the top-selling Vertigo book. It's #1. We should buy that back from them and take it back." Because Vertigo is like Chevy is for GMC. Apparently, even though they're owned by DC, they're separate and they get their own money. Kind of like Chevy
Icon.
and GMC and Icon and Marvel.
So is it creator owned?
I don't know. Jonah Hex is totally been written by, as far as the new story 1 through 58, by Jimmy. I don't know the previous writers. Even in the series, I really like the Vertigo series. All of them, there was like 3 or 4 of them. They were all really good. And that Hex miniseries is actually from the 80s, and it's amazing. It's actually one of my all-time favorite comic book series. So after his bad guy, the general is killed, this story has just gotten extremely violent. Actually, in this newest issue, spoiler alert, he curb stomps some bitch. She tries to kill him multiple times through the book, and eventually he just goes, "Trying to kill me once is one thing, trying twice is another thing." And she's reaching into his chest, and she's leaning over, and he stomps on the back of her head, and he shatters her teeth, and it shows it all. And I'm like, and then he's not done. This gets worse from there. Then he tortures her for a while, tells her what he's going to do to her, and then takes her out back and hangs her, and lets the lady that she fucked over earlier watch it and help him hang her.
So do you think maybe because the movie did blow chunks, they decided to like ump the Annie and make the fans be like, "Holy fuck, he's a badass"?
I don't think so. I think that the movie was supposed to run into a franchise, and I think that they were trying to, because he kills the same guy in the movie in the end.
Oh, okay.
And he died about a month or 2 before the movie came out. So it just seems like it lined up well
so
there.
he's going to curb stop Megan Fox in the next movie?
No. I don't think there's gonna be a next movie. The movie was okay.
I enjoyed it. I
thought it was okay. It wasn't good. It was okay. The books though, I think they're real top notch. Like they're my #1 pick, So I obviously think they're top notch. He's really styled after the Clint Eastwood Man with No Name character. He doesn't talk a lot. The bad guys talk a lot in this book, and I mean a lot.
You got 50 more seconds, my friend.
That's it.
Hex basically kills everybody. Anybody likes cowboys, anybody likes violence, read Jonah Hex, my top pick, and I'll see you on the next video.
Yeah, and remember, boys, Dynamite.
Well,
no, you'd like it if you read it.
like it.
So, tune in. Our next video is going to be coming up next.
Oh, didn't I just say?